Hi guys. Uh, the Ashes is over now, and it was a pretty interesting series to be very honest. Though the scoreline might not suggest the same. With the scoreline of 4-1, it might look like Australia were surely the absolutely dominating team in the series, but England had their moments. And if you had watched that series closely, you will know that England had their moments in each and every game, starting from the game at the Optus in Perth, where they were 100 odd for one, effectively at lunch on day two, to the game at Sydney where they were 219 for three before a late day four collapse was triggered by Bew Webster. England had their moments, so this was a series which had a lot of anticipation. England had a lot of hopes coming into the Southern Hemisphere, and definitely they couldn't achieve that. So, in that respect, we would have a discussion on both the teams. To start, we would like to start with England, the team who couldn't win, and then move on to Australia. Well, I have Abhishek with me, and so maybe a couple more guys can join in some time. I'm not sure about that. So, guys, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe and please share your comments. Also, please keep the live engaging. That's the only thing which will drive us forward. So, uh, I would like to start with a question to Abhishek. So, where do you think England lost the Ashes? It's not that I don't think there was a huge difference on skills. Yeah, definitely Australia had a bit more experience of this surface and of the conditions. But I think more than the skills, it all boiled down to capturing the big moments. So where exactly do you think England lagged in the fight?
I think you mentioned one of the points that chances, missed chances. So I think they dropped a lot of catches throughout the summer. So I would say that is could be one of the things that England could have done better. And I think the second thing, I think, which is the talking point now, is the baseball tactics. Like if you see most of the shots that they got out, you can, like Harry Brooks playing reverse sweep to Nathan Lyon one time, Jamie Smith dismissal to Marnus. So there are a couple of lots of instances of batters playing, I would say, irresponsible shots and getting out and giving the momentum back to the Australian bowling. We know that this time Australia were two bowlers short in the form of Pat Cummins and Hazelwood. So they could have grabbed at least some of the matches. England could have done it better, but unfortunately that's the case. They couldn't do it well, and I think the turning factor from Australian perspective, I think it's we all know is Travis Head. The way he batted, even in Perth, 200 chasing fourth innings, they could have challenged it, but it was a masterclass from Travis Head, and the same the way he gave the momentum to the Aussies in the while opening. I think that was a game changer for them,
Yeah,
and
yeah, I think Perth second and Usman Khawaja's injury in the Perth game was a blessing in
that that
disguise
was a
because
that was a blessing in disguise for them. Yeah.
yeah, so second innings they opened with Travis Head, and on that surface, had Usman Khawaja come out to open, maybe it wouldn't have been that kind of an attacking partnership. And remember,
No.
England were absolutely bossing the game there. The bowling looked fiery, and they were up on their heels. And all of a sudden, Australia losing a couple of wickets would have meant the chase would have become dicey. But Travis Head, the way he batted in that chase of 203 or something, that just deflated England for the rest of the series. To be very honest. Yeah, they had
Yeah.
their moments. Even in Gabba, when Joe Root scored that 135, they could only notch up 335. So, also, do you feel like the batting, even when they got starts, Harry Brook got a 20, 30 odd in almost every match. He didn't score a lot of ducks. He was dismissed by Stark also only once. But he got lots of 30s, but
He
crossed the
couldn't
50-run
convert
mark
them.
twice, but didn't convert into big knocks. Even when Joe Root scored 100 in two of the matches, they still couldn't cross the 400-run barrier. So, what is your thoughts in that aspect?
Yeah, I think lack of, I think, batting consistency and all, and I think if we start from the openers, I think Duckett has been a big failure throughout the series. Like if he comes to batting wise, Stark averaging 18 throughout the series. Sorry, Stokes. Crawley, as we know, is usual best, uh, around the mark of 27 to 30 average. He delivers. Then if we go come down, Jacob Bethel is a newcomer, although he batted very well in the Sydney Test match. So you can't expect him to score every match. And then coming to Brook, him also coming to the uh, Australia for the first time. So you cannot expect him from him a lot. So some, I would say. issues were there in the England batting lineup. I think once some of these guys like the likes of Bethel and Brook, once they get more experience, I think they can do well in the years to come. I would say, but Jamie Smith, I think this series has been a disaster for him. I think some shots like playing
Yeah, I think Jamie
unnecessary
Smith.
shots
Yeah, I think
and
Jamie Smith. I mean, some of his dismissals, particularly. Yeah, I know he was a bit unlucky on a couple of occasions with the Sneeko and all. But some of his dismissals, like the run out in that last innings at Sydney, even that first innings when he tried to smash Labuschagne and got out. Then I remember that match at Adelaide where he was playing so well, got a 60 odd, I think, and then then after four consecutive boundaries against Cummins and Stark, he attempted another six of Stark and got out. So sometimes,
so
I mean, yeah, these things can be a double-edged sword. Had those gone for runs, we would have said, "Wow, what a shot!" But I mean, when things are not going in your way, there would be questions raised. Definitely. As far as Ben Duckett is concerned, I think he was averaging in the 40s as an opener before coming here, and he had done considerably well even in on the turning tracks of India and Pakistan. In New Zealand, he had done decent. In England, is anyways very good. So there was some hope on him, but there was always the talk that will his technique persist in Australia because uh,
in the
he
bouncy
is
conditions,
yeah, because his style of getting runs is mostly that cut shot. He doesn't leave a lot of ball as an opener. He's not. He doesn't come from the Alistair Cook school of batting where he leaves a lot of balls. He likes to play that cut shot, and most of his runs come through that backward point region or through the slips, through the gully and the slip region. And he likes to ride that bounce and play it with play it that late. Something which even Joe puts Joe Root into trouble a couple of times. So with Ben Duckett, I mean, there was always a talk that will these techniques suit him on those fast, bouncy pitches of Australia. It didn't, to be very honest. Yeah, I think still there were a couple of pitches. I mean, Sydney, he looked decent in that fifth innings. He looked his best, probably
yeah,
got a 40 odd, but he was even in MCG. I would say that second innings, I think he got 20 odd or 30 odd, but on that track, that knock was a good knock. But again, he always looked to be in trouble. I mean, because his main shot was not giving him those results, and he always looked to be in trouble. In that respect, I would say Joe Root still rectified himself, but I mean that's Joe Root and his Ben Duckett, so he can't. As far as Zach Crawley is concerned, I would say Zach Crawley played two or three very good knocks. I mean, 5 for 2, he
yeah.
scored that 70
He
odd at
had couple
Gabba.
of 70s, but still,
Then that Adelaide
yeah,
third innings, second, fourth innings, he scored 80 odd. But again, I mean, Zach Crawley is a. I mean, what can I say? He's kind of a peculiar case. Or every series, even no matter how many big scores he gets, eventually his average comes to that 30, 35 kind of region.
not even 35. I think in that 30, I think early
Yeah, I think
30s
this
only.
series
I
he
think
got 28 or some 27 or 28
28
is
average
average.
around that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Again, I mean, yeah,
and last talking about Ollie Pop, I think eventually they dropped him, but I think England should now look beyond him because I think it's been a long time. I think they were looking to make him vice captain, if I'm not wrong. But I think it's high time that England should look beyond Ollie Pope. I think giving
yeah.
opportunity to
I
guys
think
like
Olipop
Will
was.
Jack and Jacob Bethel would do them very good. I think in years to come.
Yeah, I think Will Jacks did considerably well. I mean, if I just leave out that last innings where he played an absolutely stupid shot, I mean, that I didn't understand what was going on in his head. Maybe something which resulted from us. I mean, when nothing is going in your way for three,
Yeah,
four matches, sometimes these things happen. You play those careless shots. I mean, that was an absolute nonsensical shot when someone like Jacob Bethel is playing. You've just lost a wicket. You give another wicket to Bew
yeah,
Webster's off spin. I mean, that's absolutely. I mean, you get out. Getting bowled or something, and it was just his second ball. I would have still understood you had played
yeah.
15, 20 balls and then you
That
attempted
was
a shot against the off spinner.
nonsensical shot. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
it
yeah, I
doesn't
know.
made
I mean,
anything.
had it come off, the things might have been different. Brew Webster might have lost this plot, and people would have said, "Wow, what a player! He's come out and smashed him straight on second ball for a six." But I mean, this is the risk of playing this type of cricket because it doesn't come
Yeah,
off, um, and there would be questions. So I mean,
and mostly it will not come off
I
in
would like to ask
Australian
you.
track. Yeah,
Something about Jacob Bethel in that respect. Another question: that do you think now with Jacob guys like Jacob Bethel, Harry Brook, even a couple of guys in other countries? So is the importance of first class cricket coming down? I mean, Jacob Bethel was someone who didn't have a first class century when he
100,
debuted
and
in
then he
England.
came
There
back.
were talks
Yeah.
that this guy is averaging in the mid 20s in first class cricket, and he's your number three. But he showed, when the specialist batters couldn't score runs, this was a guy who and even on that MCG second innings track, where the ball was doing so much, he scored a calm and quiet 40. So, your views on Jacob Bethel and the role of first class cricket in recent times?
No, Jacob Bethel did good. I think he's a 22-year lad. I think, and he scored series in his, I think, first 100, scoring 100 in his first Australian tour, where some of the greats like Joe Root couldn't do it for the 14 years of his career. So that speaks a lot of this lad. And as you mentioned, right, on the greenish MCG track, the way he played, it also looked very good. I think first class, the difference between first class cricket and international cricket is, I think, I will not say more about skill. I think it's more about the, I would say, the mental side, how strong you're from mentally. I think because we have seen lot of players who have 10,000 runs, 12,000 runs in first class, but couldn't do that much in the international arena. And some players, like, if I take an example of David Warner, he never played a first class cricket. And there are, you can find a couple of examples. So I think,
Yeah, even Harry
but
Brook
I'm,
was averaging very low, and then he came and he's done well in England. So they picked him based on
yeah,
eye talent.
I think for me, I think first class
Mhm.
cricket matters more for, I would say, bowling point of view, where you bowl long spells, learn to bowl, how to bowl in Test cricket, how to bowl in 4 5 days,
Yeah, but even
4 day
on
5 day
bowling,
game.
I was just reading some articles on the Ranji also. These days, the bowlers who are doing well in Ranji aren't doing great. Some of the bowlers like
No,
there was that bowler who played that one game in England, Anshul Kamboj. He's done well in first class cricket, but he looked absolutely, flattered out in England. He was bowling mid 120s
but
when he
yeah,
was bowling in Test match.
maybe that was his first Test match. Maybe that could be one of the reasons. But no, but the point I was making, that if you played just T20s and
Yeah,
T20s or just
sometimes
one day list play games,
bowling
your
in
body will not
first
get
class cricket.
adapted to bowling
Yeah,
4 5 day games. So you need
yeah,
that,
that's a valid
your
point.
body to
Sometimes
prepare.
yeah, and something which is happening with Jofra Archer also. He bowls well, but
Absolutely.
whenever he bowls 140 plus, he gives it his all in one innings or two innings, and then the next match he starts feeling stiff because he isn't used to bowling that much. He bowls only 4 overs in a T20 game or
and
10 overs in a
and that's
ODI
a
game.
shocker. And that's a shocker because you see, Mr. Stark is aging 36. He played all the 5 games, and who were the two best bowlers who we thought would do good on from the England side? They were Jofra Archer and Mark Wood. Mark Wood ruled out after the first test. Jofra Archer couldn't continue after 3 tests. Although Josh Tongue did well,
Yeah, I think
so but
Mark Wood's
still, I think
Mark Wood's time is up. He was very much required in Australia, but I think his body is not
still my
giving
body is
him
not
support.
stable now. And
At this stage of his career, to be
same
very
case with
honest.
Jofra. Same case with Jofra Archer, unfortunately. So England has to look beyond them also at some point of time.
Yeah, surely, and definitely. Someone like Scott Boland, when he came to Australia, he had played a lot of first class cricket. So he could consistently pitch the ball on that
Hmm.
one place and consistently bowl in a metronomical line in length, and he can keep it doing all day, all night. Bowling on that handkerchief length with utmost accuracy. So,
Yeah,
in that
someone
respect, I
like
would
the
also.
likes of Jim McGrath could do, or Hazelwood. So yeah, but for him also, age is a factor. I think he's aging around 36. So I don't know how much years he can continue, but I think still in Australian conditions he will be very much
Yeah, I'm
lethal.
coming to the Australian pace attack, which also has a few questions
Yep.
attached to it. But before that, I would like to know your views on Josh Tongue. He's been England's most successful bowler probably this year. He was great in that Oval Test. Yeah, that India series he started on a wayward note, leaking a
Yeah.
lot of runs, but his action and his that 11 o'clock release and his bowling has been superb, particularly in these Ashes. He's been, I think, their second highest wicket taker after Braden Curse. But mind you, Braden Curse played 5 games. He played just 3 games.
3 games. Yeah. Yeah, I think Biden cards line and length, he didn't do that well. But yeah, I think, yeah, Josh Tongue has been a good perspective. Yeah, when he started the first 3 test matches around with India, I think. He was scoring a lot of runs. Maybe you can say the pitches were, I think, not supportive of him a lot. But when the oval test come, where there was some couple of support in the pitch, he looked very good. Then you talk then this I think he took two fivers, right, in this two fivers in this series this summer. So I think he looked a good
No, no, he
prospect for
took
me.
only one fiver, but I think it took a four for also, one
Four
or
for
couple
okay,
of four first.
yeah. So but yeah, I think that's a very good record in three test matches. And bowlers coming first time to Australia, I think he has adapted to the line and length very well. So I think he is a good prospect for England, and needs to be seen how he does well in some continent conditions and as time passes by. But he looked decent. Uh, he looked decent to me than the likes of Biden cards or the rest of the lot.
Yeah, surely. And I mean, so that was definitely on. Gus Atkinson, I think, is it just didn't suit him. Matthew Potts was too cold when he came to Sydney. I mean, he hadn't got a game throughout the series, and
Yeah,
that just reflected in his performance. I mean, he just couldn't find his line and length, and that too, he came in front of a rampaging Travis Head. It just didn't help his cause. So, last, I mean, before moving on to Australia, I would like to know your views on two of their stalwarts, one Joe Root and Ben Stokes.
best strokes.
So your
I
views
mean,
on both of them?
what to talk about Jorut? I think 14,000 runs, and I think scoring. I think the century that was most anticipated for him in the Australian conditions. He was finally able to deliver it, and um, I think what a achievement he has been for the for England cricket and overall. And I think maybe I think if you talk from the Ashes perspective, I think it was his last Ashes on Australian soil, I would say. Uh, so I think
Yes, sir.
I think he has done very well. I think throughout the career, and some questions can be raised that had Pat Cummins been there, had Josh Hazelwood been there, um, will it would it would have been interesting to see the matchups how he fared against them. But still, I think the Gabba 100 was very good. I think the 100 that did in Sydney um, was he showed patience and grit just like he normally does, and he showed that once he gets past 50s, and I think he has one of the best conversion rates now in the world. I would say that I've never seen him filling for 70 or 80. If he scores 50 above, then he will go for 100. Uh, that's what he's doing now, and that's what he has so much consistency. And I mean, he's just I think less than 200 runs, 2,000 runs less to break Sachin
Yeah, I think it's
Tendulkar's
1995
record
or
run.
something
Yeah, and we
difference.
can wish
Yeah.
him all the best if he does that. It would
And
be a
even
great,
he's
great
just 10 centuries behind Sachin's century tally.
beyond the great man. So, and same with Stokes, I think. But yeah, the coming,
Yeah, but
I
Stokes
think he
Stokes'
didn't
series
had the
was, I mean,
series. Yeah, Joe Root and Willie.
Stokes had some memorable moments. I mean, again, he gave it his all and eventually got injured, as it happens almost every
Yeah,
series these days. Got injured by the time the series got over. He gave it his all, kept on bowling over after over after over. Got a fifer to start with
yeah,
at Perth. Then he got a couple
at
of
first,
three
yeah.
pers and four fers, if I'm not very
Got
wrong.
a beautiful 83. Got a
Yeah,
beautiful
yeah, that
83
that was a
also.
very good knock because they were eight down. He just batted. He just batted patiently, stayed on at the crease, and then built that partnership with Archer. Even got us 50 odd at uh, uh,
Yeah,
Java's second innings with Will Jacks. But I mean, last three matches it didn't give him that much, and also I mean he got out five more times to Mitchell Stark, taking the
yeah.
tally to 14, I think now. So I mean,
Both Joe Root and Mitchell
he's
Stark, I think.
averaging 18 this series.
Yeah,
But if you just take out his stats against Stark, I mean, he's averaging 44 odd against the other bowlers. So it was mostly down to that one bowler.
same. I think Joe Root also like he did very well against the likes of Boland, Nisar. But when the likes of who did him out? Stark, I think mostly did him, or I
No,
think it was
Joe
Pat
Root,
Cummins.
Stark, I think, got him very few times. I think he got him in Perth and Gab. I think
No,
a
he
couple of
got him
times only he got.
couple of times. He got. I think
Okay,
Pat
Perth he
Cummins
got
got
him
him in the
twice. Perth he got him twice. So
first. He got him
basically, he
twice.
got him three times. Three times out of 10.
I think Nesser got him. Boland got him. So yeah, I think that's what I was talking about. That Australia were missing the third pacer, which I think Joe Root exploited very well. The likes of Nestor, Doggett was there. I think in the Test match, and they have to operate with Cameron Green. So I think that helped a lot. But I think that I would really love to see how he could handle the likes of Pat Cummins, because he bowls in that off stump length, and the ball which rises sometimes causes Jurud the trouble. So that would have been a matchup to watch for. Um, but yeah, I think not the
Yes,
series
sir.
that both Stark and Jurud, although he had 2 centuries, but I think we would have expected a couple more of 50s from him, because he's the England's experienced campaigner. But still, I think uh, he got his a much anticipated 100. And um, yeah, can
Yes,
find
I think.
Kohli fans who were saying that Smith should retire from Test. Sadarshi, your views? I think no.
See, I
Anyways,
mean,
he's aging 37, so I think. Anyways, I think this WTC cycle should be his last
See,
in
I think
Australia.
this WTC cycle maybe is last, if not at the most, maybe at the Ashes in England after that. Because if he just wants to give it a last go to win a Ashes in England, because Australia hasn't won in England. Yeah, they have won matches, but I mean, series win
No,
since
they have dropped the
2001.
series. They have
Yeah,
retained the
yeah.
Ashes,
So
but
just
they
yeah,
haven't
just I
won.
mean, the series win if he just tries to give it a last shot. But coming to that, yeah, Steven Smith also didn't have a. So now coming to Australia, I mean,
He
Steven Smith
didn't
also
have
didn't have a very good
a great
Ashes. I mean,
series.
until that last match in Sydney where the pitch was pretty flat and all. So
Flat,
yeah,
yeah,
he got a 70, I think, in Brisbane, which was a good knock under the lights. But apart from that, he was again troubled by Josh Tongue. So Josh Tongue has now,
mm,
I think, got him almost 5 or 6 times. Every time he's played against him, I think only one time, that MCG second innings, he didn't get out. Apart from that, every time Josh
he
Tongue has
has
got
got
him.
out most of the
Okay,
time. Yeah,
last innings, Will Jacks got him. Anyways, so I mean, what is your view of Australia? Because Australia batting
no,
also, I think they had too many flaws. It's just that England
too many
couldn't
flaws.
exploit them, and there was one Travis Head who covered up all flaws at the top of the order.
I think isn't that the case from the 2023 World Cup final that Travis Head is covering up their flaws? I think if you
Even
see
their
the likes of
even their other opener Jack Weatherald didn't look comfortable throughout the series. He was
apart from that 70 in the, I think, in the MCG,
Brisbane.
sorry, the Cup Brisbane, yeah,
Yeah,
he didn't look.
and Jack
He had
Weatherald's
a couple of
technique
20s.
also, I doubt him because he has a tendency to fall over and occasionally gets out
Yeah,
LBW. I saw Ben Stokes getting him LBW. I think
yeah,
Gus Atkinson got him. Gus Atkinson and Jofra got him LBW a couple of times. So, but,
yeah.
I mean,
Joffa with the fuller ball coming in the, I think, in the Perth Test match.
yeah, so I mean, Jake Weatherall didn't have a very good match. Marnus Labuschagne had a hot and cold series. Steve Smith
It
struggled
was
for.
a hot and cold series. For
Yeah,
Marnus, I would not
another
say
good performer from their team, I would say, was Alex Carey.
Alex Curry. Yeah.
And also
So
Alex Carey's keeping. I mean, particularly the way he kept coming up to the
against
stumps and
Scott
not
Boland.
allowing England to step out of their crease. Because last time when Scott Boland played in England, and even the first match at Perth, they didn't let Scott Boland settle. They came out of their crease constantly, trying to push his length back and made him and hit him for boundaries. But then they decided that let them make them stick to their crease, and that's when Alex Carey's role right behind the stumps was so important. I mean, your views of Alex Carey as a
Alex
keeper
Curry has
and
been phenomenal. I think. I think we are having a discussion. I think you only mentioned in the group that he is, I think, Australia's game saver in recent couple of years. I think uh, getting that late cup, like 40s or 50s, from nowhere, batting with a talent there. I think he has been a great find for Australian team, and I think he is, I think, the perfect replacement. I would, for the likes of who were the keepers, Brad Haddin and Adam Gilchrist. I think he can continue for Australia for a long period of time, and I think
yeah, and
a
even in
great
the
point.
I mean even in ODIs, he's been a kind of a
And even his yeah, and
crisis
even
man.
just I think I didn't see any flaws in his keeping. I think just apart from one drop which costed 5 runs to Jacob Bethel in Sydney
Yeah,
Test,
it rolled
I
onto his
didn't see.
helmet.
Yeah, I didn't see any flaws in his keeping. So a
Yeah, and
great
I
keeper.
mean, if I
He
speak of fielding, I think I mean, fielding made a huge difference between both. I think England dropped
especially
some around 20
especially
catches,
Ben
and
Duckett. I think especially Ben Duckett. I think
I mean,
he dropped the
every
most
one
out
of
of.
them. I think probably even Joe Root dropped. I think a couple. Harry Brook dropped two important catches in Adelaide. Dropped Khawaja for
Yeah,
5. He went on to make 82. Dropped Head on
it is
99. Head went on to make 171. Zach Crawley, I think, dropped a few. Then there was Braden Curse who dropped, I think, Michael Naser at Gaba. So I mean that fielding, and mind you, it's not that these guys are bad fielders. I've seen Harry Brooks, Zach Crawley, Joe Root pick up
Ah,
plug blinders. So
there are a couple of brilliant fielders.
yeah, so but I think more or less it was all boiled down to the pressure and succumbing to the pressure. While Australia, if you remember, I mean, they picked up some stunners. I mean, that catch of Will Jacks, which Steve Smith picked up in Brisbane, left hand
Yeah.
stretched out. Then I think one catch of Will Jacks only, which
No,
uh,
Marnus also took a blinder, I
yeah,
think. I
Marnus
don't
also took a
remember the
catch of.
batsman.
Yeah, Marnus also took a catch of Will Jacks only in Adelaide.
Yeah.
And then Alex Carey was anyways superb behind the stumps.
Super,
So I mean,
super.
Australia's
I think
fielding was
fielding was
Australia's
also one of the
fielding was top
differences.
notch. I mean, they just didn't let um, they just didn't never let England, I mean, settle. So
Absolutely. And I think
fielding was
coming to the
superb, to be
Australian,
very honest.
yeah,
And yeah, coming to the batting, I mean, yeah, I would like to ask you a question, another one, because a lot was talked about him coming to the series, and even someone like Bew Webster, who had performed before, was dropped to accommodate his place. So he was Cameron Green. I mean, your views on Cameron Green? I
uh,
mean, he's been horrible throughout the series, to be very honest.
he has been horrible throughout the series. And like, if you remember, Saptarshi, I think the last time India played in Sydney Test match, I think Bew Webster scored 50 in his debut against a good bowling lineup of
Yeah,
India. He
and
scored
that
50
Sydney
in
pitch
the
was a tough pitch. That Sydney pitch
that
was
Sydney
nowhere
pitch
close to
was a
this pitch.
tough pitch.
It was a pretty green
It
track.
was nowhere.
Got
It
over
was
got
pretty
over in
green
two and
track.
a half days, if I remember.
It was a pretty green track, and he scored well in the second
And even
fourth
Bew
innings
Webster
also.
scored
By the
a
way,
60 or 70 in the WTC final also against
in
South
the
Africa.
WBC final, and now he scored. So I don't know
And
what
this
kind
is
of
the man who can bowl pace and spin both according to the pitch.
pace and spin both. So I don't know. Like this question was in my head for a couple of times that why Green was given a long run. I think this was his first match or second match in this
No, Bew
series.
Webster.
Like
In fact, they played Josh Inglis also for a couple of games, but they brought Bew Webster only in Sydney.
so,
Or is it like he has a contract that he only plays the Sydney games?
Sydney games or the big games, but I don't get it because Green has been if you take his
Yeah, I think
performance from the
Australia
WBC
are
final onwards,
Australia are
he
a
has
bit
been
rigid on some of their selections. Sometimes, I mean, they don't like to play Scott Bowl, and often they don't like to play Bew Webster. So, is it all down to some NSW or some big like West Australia quota?
it has been it's everywhere. But no, but based on the performance, Green has been horrible. I think couple he took. So are they banking him on his bowling skills? I don't know because he has improved his bowling. His pace has gone up. I agree, but
Yeah,
I
but
think
even in the
he's
bowling, I mean,
mostly a batting all
that
rounder.
Sydney day one, he when he bowled, he was leaking runs at some 7 8 runs per over. Brook and Root just smashed him all over the park. Yeah, he
Yeah.
picked a couple of wickets here and there, but his bowling also didn't look very good, to be honest, throughout the series, if
Or
I say.
maybe one more reason I could say that he backed crores in the IPL contract, so he's a more famous guy than Bill Webster. I don't know any reason why they are continuously
Yeah,
banking
I
on Green
know
rather than
Cameron Green has a
Webster.
Cameron Green has people saying that this is a generational talent and all from Australia, but I
No,
think
no.
he's been playing for 5 years now from Australia. I mean, he debuted in 2020 in
What
the
is his
cricket.
average? What is his average for 5 years? Yeah, you're right. I saw him in
Yeah, I
the
mean,
2020 series.
this series Cameron Green with the ball also has picked up just 4 wickets, and his average is 71, strike rate is 93. I mean,
Yeah,
that's something you don't expect from your premium all rounder, to be very honest. And if that is your bowling record, then you need to be averaging at least 50 odd with the bat. But if I check his batting stats, he was averaging just 24
in this series.
with 171 runs in 5 matches.
And what's his overall career record? Like, I don't think it's crossing
Yeah, I think
35 even.
he has a few good knocks. There was one 171 in New Zealand, which he scored, which was a very good knock. Scored a 50 odd in Sri Lanka, scored a 100
Yeah, I
in
think he
India
has a
also,
century in
though it was
India
on a
in
flat pitch.
Ahmedabad. He has a
Yeah,
century in India, but
Ahmedabad,
two times only. But
which
bearing
was a
that, I
flat,
think mostly he
which
has
was
been a
a flat
disaster.
pitch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which was a flat pitch.
Cameron Green batting stats in Test is 32 average, and his bowling average is 39. So, I mean, if you say Cameron Green is a generational talent, then please don't blame Zach Crawley. he also averages similar.
Yeah. The only
I mean,
difference is that he doesn't ball that bad. England doesn't
yeah,
bring
I
him
mean,
bowling a lot.
anyways, with the ball, he's averaging around 40. I think if Zach Crawley starts bowling, he won't bowl worse.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And,
I don't have any
and then,
answer
mind
to
you,
that.
Zach Crawley is opening the innings. Cameron Green comes down at 4-5 when the ball becomes old.
Maybe Saptarshi, you can think why he doesn't get like
Yeah,
why
and I
Webster
think
doesn't
it's
get a chance.
I think
Maybe one of
it's
the
high
things
time Australia
I could say
need to
no,
play
one of the
Bew
things
Webster. You can't drop Bew Webster. He's been very good. Also
he
maybe
looks
a word or two on Usman Khwaja, who just played his
yeah.
last test.
Yeah, coming to that maybe one I think one of the points that could be the reason is that Green has I think his age is I think very less. Vector is in 30s or 31. So maybe Australia is banking him as a long term replacement as a future all rounder. But
Yeah, I
his
think
performances
Australia
are not.
and Cameron Green was the only less than 30 player in the squad. I mean,
Yeah,
they are investing. Yeah, I know they have an issue with their future because most of the players are 30 plus. Maybe that's the reason they're investing in Cam Green. But I really doubt if Cameron Green is giving them the desired results in Test cricket. Yeah, I think he's a
he's,
better player when it comes to white ball. He has the power to hit sixes and
yeah,
all. But
especially
coming to
T20s or yeah,
yeah, I mean, coming to Test cricket, is it really giving them the desired results? To be very honest, is the investment on him worth it?
I
And I
don't
think
think so.
that their pace trio is also definitely getting older. Yeah, Mitchell Stark. I mean, kudos to him, man of the series at this stage of his career,
Five wickets,
picking
five
up
matches, 31
picking up
wickets.
31 wickets, and I mean that was sensational to be honest. But Pat Cummins is having some issues with his ankle and all. Josh Hazelwood, it's been a long time. He's struggling with injuries, even in IPL.
Struggling
He
with
struggles with
yeah,
injuries. Scott Boland, he's not getting any younger. He is also on the wrong side of 35. So I mean, they need to start looking at the future. I mean, some of the guys like Molly Beardman, Charlie Anderson, Callum Whitler, maybe they need to start looking at
Xavier
these guys.
Bartlett,
Yeah, Xavier Butler, I'm not sure if they will bring him to Test cricket. Even there was one guy, Lance Morris, he didn't get a lot of chance.
Lance
He was,
Morris was there, Jai
yeah,
Richardson is there. So
yeah,
they
Jai
have a
Richardson
couple of
got a chance here. I think they gave a chance to Michael Nesser, but again, Michael Nesser is, mind you, he's also aged. They got to give
Michael
a
Nasser is
chance
very
to.
aged. I
Yeah,
think I saw
I think
him in
I think your
2019
face
SS
going
also.
out of camera sometimes. Yeah, so
Okay,
they
yeah,
gave a chance to Brendan Doggett also in the first place, but I mean he didn't impress me to that extent. To be very
same here,
honest, Brendan Doggett.
same here. Yeah,
So, and even they have an issue with their spinners. I mean, Nathan Lyon got injured. They didn't even trust Todd Murphy for one match. Now you
Todd
think
Murphy
when they are
or Matt
when they're
Kuhneman,
coming
they
to
didn't trust
when
him
they're coming to India, will Nathan Lyon be fit enough to play 5 games in Indian heat on the trot? If he misses a test,
at that.
who is gonna bowl on India? Matthew Kuhneman, Todd Murphy. I know, but are they really ready to face the Indian challenge? Yeah, I know it's their second tour, but you didn't play a lot of games in the 4 years between.
Because
So that's the challenge.
it's better we don't talk about India right now because the way they are playing spin nowadays, I think a part timer can also get them out. So
I
I
mean,
think
that's different, and then you have
yeah,
Smith and Labuschagne anyways,
yeah.
and you have
So
Travis said. I mean, he loves
I don't
smashing.
think India is a challenge nowadays. The way they are playing test cricket, that's a separate topic at home. But yeah, I think it will be interesting to
Yeah,
see
yeah.
how
So
they fare.
now word on Usman Khwaja, and I mean, who do you feel
I mean,
will fill in his shoes?
I mean, a wonderful career. I think he has also. I think five, 6 times he made a comeback to the Australian side. He's playing from 2011. I think 88 matches, 6,200 runs. And I would say as an opener, it's a very decent record. I think.
Yeah, he had a.
And the way how
I think at the start of his career, he struggled a lot, got dropped multiple times, didn't have a run of consistency. But particularly that phase when he made that comeback in 2022, I think early 2022 in that Sydney test with a couple of twin
yeah,
hundreds in that
twin
Ashes test
hundreds.
when
Yeah,
Travis Head was diagnosed with COVID, and that's the reason he got into the team. And then that Pakistan series where he was the highest scorer, that India tour where he was the highest scorer, that Ashes 2023 where he was the highest scorer, then that Sri Lanka series also he played decently, and that 2022 to late 23 or early 24 phase, that phase of 1.5 2 years when he averaged in the 60s, I think. So that was a superb run of form from Usman Khawaja.
super runs. Yeah,
And I mean, in a time when David Warner was aging, David Warner retired, he just at least held one end. Now they have got Travis Head as the opener, but I'm still in a doubt
But do you
whether
think
Jake Weatherford is
Travis
going to
Head
continue as an
could be a
opener.
long-term opening solution? Do you think so?
See, I think Travis Head is kind of a double-edged sword. Again, he's someone like a
Yeah,
Harry Brook. I mean,
because it's giving them the
yeah,
returns now, but
if
it's
he
giving them
goes
the
well,
returns now, but
yeah, and
yeah,
he's a proper hand-eye coordination player. So I mean, once his hand-eye coordination is gone, he can die down very quickly. But I think, yeah, the way he plays, sometimes if he clicks like he clicked here, it just destroys all the bowling plans, and it
destroys opposition.
just
Yeah,
baffles the entire team. I mean, because they keep on pitching the ball, trying to make it swing and get that edge, and then all of a sudden this lad comes out, plays those whips, those pulls, those cuts, and all of a sudden everything is changed. But yeah, I doubt that will with that successful opening the innings, maybe someone like New Zealand, someone like England, yeah, in the subcontinent, anyways, he opens the innings because that's the best place for him to play that attacking brand of cricket when the ball is hard and new. It doesn't swing or seam that much. But in, in English conditions, if there is a green track, or
in
in
South African conditions.
New Zealand conditions, South African conditions, anyways, Australia
Uh,
has a South
nowadays,
Africa too. So
nowadays, English conditions, I'm not sure that whether that thing that much or not. The pitches are mostly flat nowadays, so
yeah, but I mean,
yeah,
sometimes when there's that overcast conditions, there
yeah,
anyways is a tendency to swing in England. So
yeah.
that will be a challenge for Travis Head. As far as their other opener is concerned, they might think of going back to Sam Constas. But again, if you go back to Sam Constas, then you have
Uh,
two high risk openers at both ends. I mean, both just
and Sam
goes up to the
Constance
bowling.
is currently not even playing well in the BPL, so
Yeah,
currently
so
he's out of
I mean,
form. So
Australia, in fact, they can even call back that guy who played against India in the couple of matches, Nathan McSweeney. But I mean,
McSweeney,
Nathan McSweeney is someone who has that Usman Khawaja kind of mentality, bat for long hours and all. And I think with
one
Travis
guy
Head, it
was there, right?
needs.
Harris
Sorry,
was there. Uh,
yeah,
Paul
Marcus
Marcus
Harris
Harris was there.
played for quite a while. It didn't give that much returns, but he has done well in some Shield games. Even Cameron Bancroft has done,
Yeah,
but I think his
I think
time is over in Australia.
Matt Winishaw is also there. I think
Matt
he's
Renshaw,
doing well.
there was I think that one under 19 guy or someone, I don't remember his name exactly. Ricky Ponting was saying his name the other day, but I
But
think
I
they
think
have solutions.
but I think Travis is also a mixed kind of opener. You cannot call him a what to say a proper genuine opener. He's doing giving returns nowadays, but I think you cannot bank him for the next period of 4 5 years. And and
See, four
you
five years,
normally
I
keep
doubt
your best
he will be
batter.
playing because he is anyways 30 plus.
Yeah, and normally you keep your best batter for in the position of 4 to 5. So constantly throwing him at the opening position with a new ball, I don't know is it a good option or not. But
Okay, this
yeah,
guy's name
but
is Campbell Kellaway. So Ricky Ponting was saying his name. He has an average of, but he's also averaging just 33 in first class. And again, I mean, this just shows that I think nowadays the benchmark for the first class selection has become 35, 30, 35. Where I mean,
yeah,
40, 45 was a benchmark 10, 15 years back. So nowadays, most of the, I mean, you see most of the guys debuting are averaging 30 odd in Test cricket in first class.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so do you think that comes down to the lack of proper textbook technique, more inclination towards T20 cricket and playing big shots, or it's
Yeah, fetching the
or
big
it like
contract.
boils down more to green pitches laid out and more result oriented pitches, keeping in mind the WTC qualifications, or just a mixture of both?
I mean, for India, they suffered because of this, like making turners to win the matches for the past couple of years, which eventually led to some of the batsmen's averages going down. So India has have suffered it. I think I'm not sure about England, but I think
India doesn't give such pitches in first class. In first class, the pitches are green, and the I mean it's New Zealand kind of pitches. It's green, seems around a
yeah,
bit for the first couple of days, and then becomes flat. So when they come to play international games and plays on a rank turner, they are absolutely thrown into the ring only to be baptized by fire. That have absolutely no
maybe
idea of
that's
playing
the
the
reason
turning ball.
India is doing well, relatively well in the overseas, but they're not doing well in the
Yeah,
in the
kind of,
home matches.
definitely, kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. So I
So I
mean,
think we can. Mm,
yeah, I think we can slowly draw the curtains. Maybe another 2 3
yeah,
minutes, and then we can
yeah,
draw the
yeah,
curtains.
yeah. So
Yeah, I think that's mostly from the Ashes. So definitely, it was a great series, and I mean,
and I
kudos
think
to both the teams for putting up
kudos
fight,
to both
and
teams and
I mean,
congrats
putting up
to
a
Australian team.
great series. And I mean, Australia for hosting such a nice series. Anyways, Australian summer is a great event. At least I love it so much. And
I love it,
uh,
especially the broadcasting. It's
yeah,
so built, and the
yeah,
commentary and the analysis, everything just is
yeah, I mean,
top notch.
Fox does an absolutely fantastic job, to be very honest. And even the fact I like about them is they appreciate the other players also. It's not just
Yeah,
that. I mean, the other day they were interviewing Jacob Ethel's parents. I remember after his 100, and I mean that
they
was
were
a pretty
interviewing
emotional
Joe Root.
moment.
Yeah, that was very emotional. Yeah,
Yeah, and even their players, if you see, I mean, no matter how rude or how arrogant they were on the field, I mean, some of their players when they're doing those interviews, they're pretty sensible. And even someone like Ricky Ponting, he's very sensible when he speaks. He understands the game very deeply,
very
and
deep. And
I
I think
mean,
one of the commentary points, I think he was spot on. I think don't remember the dismissal. I'm not, but the way he predicted, I think it was Alex Carey's dismissal down the left side, and it happened exactly the ball after it.
yeah, I mean that
So
was a good plan by Ben Stokes for a couple of matches. I think he got
yeah,
him two times. Even Josh Tongue got him once. Played put the leg sleep and kept it around the wicket. Tried to swing the ball in, put it on his pads, and he just tried to guide it down the fine leg and got out in the leg sleep. So
yeah,
definitely, I mean that was a great series. So I think mostly
yeah.
test
And I
cricket is
think now,
done for now. Now it's
and we
time
have
for
to
the white ball
slowly
games.
focus on the white ball games and
Yeah, so
T20
I mean
World Cup.
the WPL has started today. We can have some discussions on that also later on, and
Yeah,
then there's India New
we
Zealand
have we
ODI
will be
series.
having a lot of discussions, I think, and at what are the
Yeah, but we
venues, I
need.
think.
I mean, you guys, it can't be these one and two views. I mean, that
Yeah,
will just deflate us, man. I mean, there's a lot of cricket coming up, right? So there's the
India New Zealand
SA20
series is
going
coming
on.
up.
There's, I mean, anyways, leagues are going on. There's SA20 going on. There's the PSL, sorry, not PSL, BBL
BBL
going
is
on,
going
and
on. BBL is going
now
on.
the WPL has started. I mean, support women's cricket after what they did last year, and
Yeah,
then there's the India New Zealand
India
ODI
New
series
Zealand
coming
season
up.
series,
Then the T20 series coming up. There's
and I think
the
nowadays ODI series will gain more hype than the T20 series,
yeah.
considering. Um, uh,
Though I'm not very excited because New Zealand has sent a pretty young team, and I really don't see
I
them
didn't
putting a
check
lot
the
of
New
fight.
Zealand squad, I think, but I need to check that more. But yeah, we need
Yeah,
to.
the New Zealand squad is pretty young. I mean, they're not gonna give up fight. At least I don't think so because most of the main players have been detained for, been kept for the T20
T20 World
team.
Cup.
Yeah. Then there's
So
one Sri Lanka England ODI series. I think Pakistan will play one series against Australia, if I'm not wrong, in their home.
Pakistan is
So
playing against Sri Lanka nowadays. So yeah,
yeah, so
uh,
there's a
a lot of interesting matches. Yeah,
lot of cricket, and then I mean in February there's the T20 World Cup followed by the IPL. So yeah, so I
and
mean
we have, I think,
New Zealand's
substantially we have a couple of plans, right, to make proper analysis of each squad, the way we did for CT and the other teams for IPL. So we can also
yeah
come up with something like
yeah,
that.
we will try to make
Yeah,
that maybe in live or in video, but we'll surely
yeah,
try to make
both,
that.
both. It
We
will
have
be covered in both live and videos. Yeah,
yeah,
obviously.
we've also put one video on the top moments from the last year, the year that went by.
Yeah, that
So
was very
guys,
good.
please
So
have a
please,
watch and
yeah,
please
if
share
you
your
could
feedback.
post it in the comments, or yeah, if you could share it along with some others, those who are watching, that would be very helpful. It's a very
Yes, sir.
good video.
New Zealand's ODI squad for this series is Henry Nichols, Will Young, Michael Bracewell. He's the captain. Josh Clarkson, Nick Kelly, Daryl Mitchell, Glenn Phillips, Zach Fox,
Come
Jaden
on, it's
Lennox.
almost a full spread. What you're telling, man? The
Man,
batting
what?
is almost.
Jaden Lennox, Devon Conway, Mitchell Hay, Aditya Ashok, Christian Clark, Kyle Jamieson, Michael Ray. I mean,
Jamison is there.
Henry Nichols is playing ODI after quite some time. I think. I mean, he didn't play. Let me
No, my
see.
point is that it's not a completely new squad. No, no,
He doesn't play
didn't say
ODI
that.
regularly. Will Young also after City, I think he hasn't played a lot of ODI.
No, no, he
Then
was
there's
there.
no
He
King
was there in the
Williamson.
England ODIs. He was there in the
He
England
was
ODIs.
he was
Yeah,
I don't remember.
he was
Then
averaging very bad.
Williamson.
He did very
Yeah,
bad.
you can say the batting is there a bit, but I think the bowling is pretty new. There's no Sandner, there's no Henry, no Will O'Rourke,
No,
no Ish Sodhi, or no Ben Sears. No one. I think Jamieson is the
I think
only one who I know.
I
And
think they're
Zach
also
Fox did
mindful
well
of.
in the England series.
I think it will be a blessing for some of the Indian players to score there. centuries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean, like Virat will think of taking it to 85, 7, I think. Yeah, right, 87. Yeah.
Normally, yeah, but normally here he does don't have that a good record against New Zealand in, in either ODIs or Tests. So it will be interesting to see how he plays
Yeah,
against New
I
Zealand.
think last time when New Zealand came to India in 2023, he didn't score 100 in any of the matches. I think
I'm saying for the
for
for a couple for last 5 years, I think he didn't do well against New Zealand, sparing that two knocks in the World Cup. I think
yeah, Rajatama, I
he
mean,
didn't do
it
that
would be
well.
good if you can bring some guys from your country to watch these videos.
Yeah, we have to promote cricket in France also. I think at some point, I think France has a cricket team. I think if I'm not wrong. The
I think
only thing
Italy
is
is anyways
that
playing this T20 World Cup.
Italy is playing this. So yeah, they have to motivate their neighbors also,
Yeah,
neighboring
Italy is
countries.
playing, and then anyways Netherlands, Ireland, all these countries play.
Yeah,
He's now in your place, and yeah, I know. Mm. So you can promote it there also. And anyways, they have seen a T20 World Cup and all.
yeah. US is playing, right? US team is playing. I think they have announced the squad. I think also.
Yeah,
So
US is a US is a good team. They defeated Pakistan.
yeah. Uh, and this time again, US, India, Pakistan, all are I think in the
Oh,
same group. I think
oh,
so.
is it? I wasn't aware. Is it?
93 Olympics. I think last time it was held. It was in 1900. I think not in 1912. I need to check.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure, but yeah, if
but
that's it, I
yeah,
mean, that's yeah. So I was just thinking, like you were saying, Virat against New Zealand. So against New Zealand, I think
it's not that
yeah,
good.
he's averaging 50-55 against New Zealand. Yeah,
I'm
but
not talking about overall. I'm talking last 5 years. From the 2020
yeah,
series,
yeah.
he is
Last
not that
5 years,
good.
if you check, I mean, I think after 2019, he hasn't. Yeah, 2020, those three ODIs, he didn't do well, and then
He
2023,
scored 150.
2023 he
2023
didn't
was
do
also
well, but 2023 World Cup he did well, scored a
World Cup.
95
He
and a
did well,
100,
but
and
City
then
also, City also,
and then
City also both the
Sid-
matches he didn't do well.
yeah, one was the Glenn Phillips catch, another one he got LBW final.
So
Yes, check the year, but
that's
just check the
yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
that's
So I
what I'm
think
a
anyways,
bit worried with the New Zealand side.
anyways,
So let's see.
better not deviate the discussion. So let's
Yeah,
keep it short, and I think it's time to wrap up. So
yeah.
cheers to everyone who
And those
joined,
who have
and
watched, please like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for watching.
yeah, thanks Abhishek
Thank you.
for spending your time with us, and good night,
Thank you
goodbye.
so much. Thank you so much. We'll be back soon.
Yes, cheers.